Windows will actually let me do what I wanted to do. Anyway, the stream's now going. You can get to it by going to our website at talk973.com. One click of the link at the top middle of the page will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, your YouTube app will get you there. Put Mornings with the LeaderMan in there. The LeaderMan, all one word. If you're on your mobile device just needing audio, we suggest the TuneIn, iTunes apps. Other apps will work also. Put WEEB into those searches. Or you can get our stream off of our website in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages, 24/7, 365, by tapping the icon that says Listen Live. One tap and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Well, we got another nice day before the Muggies start building themselves back in here. Partly cloudy today. Can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm from the little front that's going to graze us from the north. That's just a 20% chance. So high today is going to be 89, but the dew points will be way down there around 60. Then tonight, partly cloudy, 65 for a low tomorrow. That little moisture's gone. We got one last day of nice weather, partly cloudy 85. Then the Muggies start building back in here. Thursday night, partly cloudy 69. Friday, we get that southeast flow of air, and guess what that comes with it? The Atlantic Ocean. So as that gets thrown back up on top of us, all this moisture gathers and pools and dries up our dew points, and we'll be in the mid to upper mid 60s on the dew points Friday. Saturday and Sunday we'll be in the upper 60s on the dew points, so that's going to make it very hot feeling, especially with the 91-degree sun beating down on you. Monday and Tuesday, chances of rain, high dew points and highs in the upper 80s. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are west of 5, visibility 10 statute miles. Humidity, 84%, dew point 61, pressure 29 to 83, sunny 66 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. You know, I got a dog that's getting into his senior years, and from time to time he has to go out in the middle of the night. And you try your best not to wake up too much while you go through the process so that you can get back to sleep. And yesterday, he usually, when he has to go out, my older dog, which is named Nick, will crawl on top of me in the bed, and that's his signal, I got to go. And it's, I got to go number 2.
He put his paw in your throat?
Well, that doesn't do it. He starts slapping me with his claws, so, you know.
Okay, that'll do it.
Anyway, so I always get up and never get mad because I'm so blessed that he's telling me and not doing it by the door. So, but this morning, for some reason, he didn't crawl on top of me, but he needed to go. But here's the trick. My other dog, Colt, which is a 4.5-year-old beagle, sensed that Nick needed to go, and he crawls on top of me instead. And I said, this is highly unusual. Why are you crawling on top of me? So I just thought he wanted affection. I was just petting him and falling back to sleep, and he was having none of that. So he wakes me up, and then I said, do you need to go out? And that's when Nick perks up like, yes, we do.
For the love of Pete, man, get out of bed.
So we let him out, and everything's all well. But it's funny how the other dog picks up on the cue of the first dog.
Yesterday I was at, last night I was at Lowe's and had a good conversation with...
I take it your suspension's over with there?
Yes. Had a good conversation with listener Scott, who is married to a JAG officer down at Bragg, and...
they have you on the docket?
They don't. They don't. I'm on the Moore County docket, of course, many times each month. But that's a whole different story. So anyway, if you're listening today, good morning, Scott. He just started a new job, so he may not be listening. But he said he despises you, Steve.
I don't know why. That's such a fine fella.
He didn't really say that.
Well, that's why I didn't believe it to begin with. So. I know of one person in this county that truly doesn't like me. Who could
All of our minds are racing trying to figure that out. No, but seriously, other than me, who?
All right, it is 7:35, 35 past the hour. Let's move on to sound bites this morning.
I think we should.
Let me push it back up here.
By the way, who was singing that toe-tap-inducing yet annoying song that you were playing at the opening?
Barbara Streisand.
Oh, no wonder it was annoying.
Don't get along with a single word that comes out of her mouth, but she can sing. I'll give her credit where she's due it.
She was never raised on the good book Jesus, by the way. That's a lie in that song.
Well, if you think you have problems, I hate to tell you, but they just they just pale in comparison to the rich. And you think I'm kidding. I mean, consider this. What if the pool man comes the day before the landscaper does?
You think you have it rough. Here's another example of real problems of the rich.
Well, for some reason, our pool man began coming the day before the landscapers instead of the day after. That left us with leaves and grass clippings in the pool for an entire week. And you best believe I gave that pool man an earful.
This has been Real Problems of the Rich.
So when you become rich, you get like an Australian kind of British accent?
No, you get the Stephen Colbert accent, where you get to be snooty sounding.
I'm just saying, it sounded Australian.
You know, I'm snooty, and I know more than you, and we'll get to Stephen Colbert soon.
What he doesn't say is that the pool man started coming early because his trips out of town started coming early.
Our good news story this morning, a 19-year-old woman with cerebral palsy surprised her parents by walking for the first time at her high school graduation.
Wow.
She worked for months with the physical therapist to pull it off. Her name is Lexi, and she talks about it with her mother, Dee Dee, in this clip.
Physical therapy, occupational therapy, you name it. I had to quit work for 4 years just so I could take her everywhere she needed to go. And I wasn't going to stop. Never have, never will. I think said at least 5 prayers a day, every day, and the Lord heard us, and here she is 19 years later. Every year we would have an IEP meeting, and they would basically ask me what my goals were for her, and I would always tell them to see her walk across the stage to get her diploma.
Well, as my parents told you, I got Cuban sequence, and I wanted to surprise them by walking across the stage.
When it got to her name and she got up and started walking, I just bawled.
As I was walking, I felt amazing. Like, I thought to myself, wow, I'm really doing this. All the people are so proud of me, what I did, and that felt like a miracle.
And I want the kids out there to know never to give up. I feel as though she will conquer the world in her own little way.
Well, she just might.
That's a beautiful story. And if you don't know, CP is a neuromuscular disease. It doesn't affect people's brains are just working just fine, but they're trapped inside this cell of a body that won't do what they want it to.
And they have to work twice as hard to get that brain to make that body work the way they want it. Well, 2 friends from Minnesota made a pact a long time ago to get married if they were both single when they were 50. Well, now they're past 50, so they got married last week. The names are Ron Palmer and Kimberly Dean.
So years and years and years ago, I would say probably 20
I think we were in our
something,
30s.
I don't know. both single, both had gone through crazy relationships. Ron was talking about benefits, and I was talking about kids, and he goes, I don't have anybody to leave any of my stuff to. And I just jokingly, I went, just leave it to me. Let's just get married. And he went, okay. And that's how the joke started. Henceforth to where we are now, it's like, oh my God, do you realize that we are in our 50s? Little did we know that that whole joke was coming true years and years and years later.
Yeah, I always joke that I can retire early as long as she carries health benefits.
So you're looking forward to it, huh?
Yeah. You still have health benefits?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right. After high school, I wanted to go sow my oats, and so we broke up, but we remained friends. We've been friends for 37 years. We started out friends, and we're still friends.
I think the pact was a joke. I think the actual thing of what we're doing tomorrow is no joke. Marriage is a commitment, and that's something that I think that we really want to do to each other.
It was settled at first sight.
Yeah. There's also a viral video of an awkward morning news report from April in San Diego. They're covering an inflatable festival where people run through an inflatable obstacle course, and the reporter can't get his opening joke about inflation to work because the anchor back at the studio is caught off guard and just won't play along.
You know, usually when you're talking about the world of inflation, you guys, you probably notice, is that a good thing or not a good thing, inflation?
I'm sorry, the question again, Dave?
Is inflation in our world a good thing or not a good thing?
It depends upon what the topic is. What are we talking about? Generally, inflation? If you have an inflatable boat, that's a good thing.
Heard the word, right? But generally, when you hear the word inflation,
not economically.
Something good come to mind?
For me, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you that you're right about, if you say good, you're right, because this is the world of inflatables.
Just didn't go very well. And then,
I know the feeling.
To make things worse, well, nobody can get into the Twilight Zone with you. Another awkward moment about an inflatable obstacle. Let's see. Yeah. About an inflatable obstacle course got worse and worse as it went on. The reporter called the volunteer off guard with lame questions like, what kind of fun do you think you're going to have today? And it was just a horrible report.
What kind of fun do you think you're going to have today?
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun. That's a good kind. Helping everybody. So, Lean, what do you think?
I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
What kind of fun do you think you can find here today? All kinds? All kinds of fun? Bouncing fun? Yeah, I think so, because this is a place where kids and families can come and kind of bounce around, but you need something, and I'm going to have everyone do it like a magic chant. Repeat after me. Abracadabra, 1, 2, 3.
Abracadabra, 1, 2, 3.
Now it's time to see what we see.
Now it's time to see what we see.
Hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness.
How's everybody doing? My name is Mr. Wacky. Welcome to the Inflatable Run.
Give Mr. Wacky a nice round of applause, everybody. Now, does that mean that everybody here becomes an inflatable today?
Do they want to be inflatables today?
Do you guys want to be inflatable? Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Wacky? Let me see everybody do their Mr. Wacky then.
All right.
Yes, aren't you glad you don't live in San Diego for such exciting TV programming?
In the car on the way home, he's thinking, just shoot me.
Mm-hmm. That teacher in Utah.
I hope this is better than the last two.
Got suspended because she made her students read lyrics from Eminem's song "Like Home."
Oh.
I don't know what it is with the what's the right word? Phobia or it's not obsession, but it is obsession, but it's not about Trump with the left with the leftists who just can't get over it and move on with the rest of the world. They just think that they got the 3 or 4 magic words that they can utter that will finally turn the light bulb on the rest of the right, so they see it their way that this is such a huge mistake. I don't think prosperity is a mistake myself. But a teacher in Utah made her students read Eminem's song Like Home. Not only did it have the S word in the song, but mainly it was about the political message, because the song is anti-Trump.
When we came from a stars and stripes, this type of pickle that we're in's hard to deal. But there's always tomorrow still, if we start from scratch, like a scab with the scars to heal. And band together for Charlottesville and for Heather. Fallen heroes, fill his wall with murals. Nevada, get up, hit the damn resetter. Let's start from zero, this is our renewal. Straight tank, get rid of, get a break.
That's enough of his junk. But, you know,
man, that was good.
Oh, yeah, I'm just can't wait to hit the replay button. The thing is, she's trying to indoctrinate your children with this propaganda. And it's time to get beyond this, folks.
And how old were these kids?
I wasn't thrilled about Obama for a single day, because piece by piece he was killing this country's economy, which he proved to do.
Well, more than just the economy.
By driving it down to the new norm. You remember we had movies for years talking about, well, you know how the economy is today. Or you know how lackluster it is out there, or how difficult it is to find a job. Well, yeah, when you're bouncing so close to zero on GDP, and the Fed's rates are so low they can't go any lower to stimulate it, that's pretty bad. And within a year, somebody comes in and sparks life back into it, because they know how to rekindle the spark. Part of the, you can put all the pieces in place and do everything right. But if you don't provide the spark, and what I mean by that is you got to bake the pie. You got to start talking about the positive changes and what it's going to do, and make the good announcements like the job staying. I don't care how hard you got to stretch it to make it work, but you got to be the cheerleader for the economy. But what does Obama do? This is the new norm. This is the way things will be. We can't be the big consuming great nation of America. We got to spread some of this out to the world. We're all going to sing around the same campfire and sing Kumbaya. It just doesn't work that way. And you got a man coming in and says, I'm going to pull for my team first. I want my team to win. And others will win too, because we'll be fair in what we do. And they can be fair with us, and we will all prosper. But we're not going to poke holes in our balloon just so we can inflate someone else's.
You're drawing a tie back to that earlier sound clip. I see what you're doing there. You're an inflatable.
This is a weird thing. Fashion designer Kate Spade was found dead yesterday, and she just told she sold her company for $2.4 billion, or was it 4.2? It was a terrible amount of money. She committed suicide in an apartment by tying one of her scarves around her neck and putting the other end on a doorknob, and just leaning down until enough pressure is put on the neck to cut the air off. And basically, you self-suffocate. She was just 55. She left behind a 13-year-old daughter. Her husband, Andy Spade, is David Spade's older brother. She appeared on his show, David's show, Just Shoot Me, back in 2002. She's only in the very beginning of the scene playing herself, and and the gang acts so immature they scare her away as a prospective client. here's the scene she was in.
Hey, you know, I'm really excited to have you aboard.
Oh, thanks, Jack. Kate Spade, you old bag hag. What are you doing here?
Kate's coming out with a new perfume, and she's chosen our magazine to help launch her campaign. Hey, let's dazzle her. Let me hear some ideas.
Okay. How about smells sweet on the street when you meet the heat? Okay, you pitched that last month to Calvin Klein. It's funny you should remember that when every day you forget to prune back those hedges you call eyebrows.
Okay.
Well, at least I'm not all tall and thin. Wait.
Call her a drunken skeleton. It's a classic for a reason.
Shut up, you little pygmy.
That's enough.
Actually, pygmies are really good warriors, so thanks for the compliment. Complimenter.
I think I'm going to go.
Oh,
Thank you.
Kate, listen, they're just horsing around. We're really...
Okay, it's enough. But, yeah, you got to give her credit. Evidently, she had the talent to design a handbag that, well, ladies wanted. And she became extraordinarily rich from it.
I'm reading
why you would hang that all on the doorknob and kiss it goodbye, I don't know.
I'm sure she was very rich, but I'm reading a story in Forbes here from last year that says she and her husband had cashed out of the corporation about a decade ago, and so when it sold for $2.4 billion to Coach, they didn't get any of that. But I'm sure when they cashed out big.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a picture of her home. I mean, she was not poor.
But to commit suicide with a 13-year-old, you know, it's
part of the suicide note that they showed mentioned that she was telling her daughter how much she loved her. Well, the daughter's going to think, well, if you love me, why'd you leave me?
Yeah, it's hard to do a mental postmortem on somebody, but
we don't know the whole story, so we don't know. But boy, see, just a shame, it really is. Miss America pageant's getting rid of the swimsuit competition. Oh, that'll drive the ratings up. And from now on, they'll be judging anyone they won't be judging anyone based on looks. Yeah.
Just like real life.
Only ugly people will get into the pageant. Yeah. Gretchen Carlson made the...
I don't think you and I are eligible, Steve.
Gretchen Carlson made the announcement on Good Morning America yesterday. She's the current chair of the Miss America Board of Directors. It will be called the Miss America Competition from now on, not the Miss America Pageant.
Gretchen will go down in history for killing the pageant.
Well, what channel are they running it on now? RFD or something? It's some off channel or TBS. It's
maybe the Trinity Broadcasting Corporation.
It used to come on Saturday nights on ABC. But even the networks won't carry it because it just can't generate the ratings.
And to be fair, I didn't watch it, you know, bathing suits or whatever. I didn't watch the thing, but then again, what do I watch, Steve? That's the question, isn't it?
And of course,
apparently not.
President Trump canceled the Philadelphia Eagles gathering at the White House. Last week, they said 80 would be attending. 80. And then this week, they said it will be only 10, 2 players and some coaches. And so the president just canceled it. You could see he was being set up. And that would be the news splash throughout the whole evening news. Again, we have people who can't seem to grow up and get over the fact that their candidate lost. NBC's affiliate covered the celebration of the national anthem at the White House yesterday and had trouble finding any Philly fans.
After the event, I was just curious to know who these people were at this event today because we were told they were Eagles fans. Well, the first 6 people that I went up to, I can tell you this. I asked them who was the quarterback during the Super Bowl for the Eagles. The first 6 people I asked did not know the answer. A couple people after that said no comment. We did find a couple people that did know the answer who were fans, but a lot of them were Pennsylvania GOP members who were down as a pro-Trump event, and it happened to be an Eagles event. And then we also found a lot of people were there because they had an in with somebody who could get them into the White House for this event. So a lot of people there today, not very in any way like a Dilworth Plaza Philadelphia Eagles pep rally. There was no Fly Eagles Fly. At some point, somebody said they heard a chant, but whatever it was, guys, it was very faint in the background.
No kidding. That's a shocking story.
And one gutless wonder from the rear of the crowd says, "Why are you hiding behind the celebration of the Philadelphia Eagles?" If I was Trump, I would. Well, he can't do it because it's not presidential. If I would have walked back there and I would have got right in his face and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Say it again." And then when he said it, I'd say, you know, you're not going to disrespect my flag at my house. And I'd get rid of him. Chase him right out of there. Let's see. Best beginning on this day in history. Take a look at this day in history. It was on this day a gazillion years ago, way back about 174 years ago, that the Young Men's Christian Association was founded in London, a.k.a. the YMCA. 93 years ago, in 1925, the Chrysler Corporation was founded by Walter Pierce C. Chrysler. It's now Italian-owned and known as the Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. 85 years ago, in 1933, the first drive-in movie theater opened in Camden, New Jersey.
What year?
1933. Yeah, that's where you went to make out with your woman and watch a movie at the same sort of watch a movie. In 1968, stock car driver Buddy Baker drove into the wall at Smoky Mountain Raceway. As he was being taken away in the ambulance, the back door opened and he fell out.
Oh, wow.
He survived that too, continued racing. Just isn't my day.
Wow, boy.
50 years ago in 68, Robert Kennedy died at the Good Samaritan Hospital in L.A. at 1:44 in the morning, Pacific time, 25 hours after being shot. 38 years ago, can you believe it? 1980, Urban Cowboy was released with John Travolta and Deborah Winger. It put country music nightclubs on the map. 20 years ago, in 1998, Sex and the City premiered on HBO. It ran for 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Seemed like it ran for 600. Just wouldn't go away. Those celebrating birthdays today, you have Aubrey Anderson Emmons is 11. Cameron and Mitchell's adopted daughter Lily on Modern Family. DeAndre Hopkins, 26, the Houston Texans wide receiver. Paul Giamatti from Private Parts, Sideways, Cinderella Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, 51 years old today. He played the guy on Private Parts. That was Howard Stern's movie. He was the manager of NBC and teaching Howard to say WNBC. Because he had a certain way you had to say it. WNBC. That isn't even the correct way they said it back then. Harvey Fierstein is 64 years old today.
Oh, no kidding.
Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, 71 years old today.
He's a real cut-up, I understand.
Do you want to go to sleep? Here's your news, sports, and weather, 8 o'clock.
We should see a lot of sunshine around the area today, maybe a few partly cloudy periods. We'll have low humidity again, quite warm out, and in the afternoon thunder showers likely to be very isolated. We'll have highs around 84 to 90. Then tonight, fair to partly cloudy, lows in the upper 50s to mid-60s. Looks like Thursday will bring a mix of sun and fair weather clouds, a few degrees cooler. Any showers or storms mainly toward the southern coastal plain with highs 82 to 87. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
97.3 FM and 990 AM. WPDB Southern Pines, Pioneers, Aberdeen. And on the web at talk973.com.
news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Following yesterday's primaries, vote counting goes on in some key congressional races in Southern California. Races that remain too close to call. Democrats hoping to pick up seats from Republicans in the House. Republican businessman John Cox took a strong second-place finish in the California gubernatorial primary. Cox facing long odds against Democrat Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, who won yesterday's primary. Total of 8 states had primaries yesterday. In Alabama, Congresswoman Martha Roby, forced into a runoff in Alabama's Republican 2nd District primary, says she will run on her record.
Fighting for Alabama's military, our veterans, for our farmers, for border security, and the fight for the unborn. And I'm going to continue to run on that record.
That from WSFA TV. The Japanese Prime Minister is heading to Washington for talks with President Trump. The Japanese leader trying to make sure that his country's interests are not overlooked at the upcoming U.S.-North Korea summit.
Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe will have less than 2 hours to make his points to Trump at the White House. Both then go to Canada for the G7 summit. After that, Trump flies to Singapore for his June 12th meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Abe doesn't want compromise that would leave Japan exposed to shorter-range missiles that do not threaten the U.S. mainland, or that relieves pressure on North Korea before it takes concrete steps before complete denuclearization. I'm Shirley Smith.
The White House acknowledging that Kelly Sadler is no longer employed within the executive office of the president. Sadler, the White House aide who faced a barrage of criticism after reportedly making light of Senator John McCain's battle with brain cancer. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Shop Lowe's and save big on updates you can make throughout your home. Refresh your walls with new color with stain-resistant paint that makes cleanup a snap, starting at $26.98. Craving new appliances? Get up to 40% off appliance special values on some of the best brands in the business. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through 6/6. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
This is Mike Gallagher again. Let me be clear. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free product that simply helped eliminate my pain. Pain from back pain in a motorcycle accident that made my life a little uncomfortable. If you're struggling with pain in your hands, feet, hips, knees, or neck, you name it, you owe it to yourself to go to ReliefFactor.com. Order the 3-week quick start. It's only $19.95. Give it a try. It works. ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call them 800-500-8384. 800-500-8384.
The governor of Malaysia's central bank has resigned. His country's new government continues an investigation of a financial scandal.
In a note to employees, Muhammad Ibrahim said he was prepared to relinquish his position as governor of the central bank in order to protect its image and reputation. His departure follows claims made by Malaysia's new finance minister last month that proceeds from the sale of state land to the bank were used to pay off debts accumulated by the scandal-hit state investment fund 1MDB. He has, however, emphatically denied any wrongdoing. It's alleged that under the previous government of Najib Razak, billions of dollars were siphoned out of 1MDB into the private bank accounts of leading officials.
The BBC's Theo Leggett. China lashing out at the U.S. after a pair of B-52 bombers flew past a Chinese-held shoal in the South China Sea. Foreign Ministry spokesman warns the U.S. against stirring up trouble in the area. News and analysis, townhall.com. A former political consultant due to testify before British lawmakers probing the use of Facebook data in election campaigns.
Alexander Nix appears before Parliament's Media Committee after previously refusing to testify due to law enforcement investigations into the firm. Cambridge Analytica filed for bankruptcy earlier this year after former employees alleged that it used personal data harvested from Facebook accounts to target voters during Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. Nix's testimony comes just days after Britain's Information Commissioner Elizabeth Denham told the European Parliament she was deeply concerned about the impact on democracy of the misuse of social media users' personal information. She said legal systems had failed to keep up with the rapid development of the internet. Charles de Ledesma, London.
France, Germany, and Britain now asking the United States to exempt European companies from new sanctions on Iran. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Well,
here we go again. Another election. This one's for keeps. This time your vote will decide who will be our next sheriff. Hello, I'm John Zumwalt. I'm backing Steve Adams for sheriff of Moore County. We have 3 good men running in the general election. One thing makes Steve Adams stand out. Steve has new ideas. He brings something to the office that we need more of, a business person's way of looking at things. As you begin to hear these announcements between now and Election Day, please don't block them out. Obviously, we need good, strong, honest law enforcement from our sheriff. We also need, and it's the same thing we need throughout government, ways to save money. Steve Adams has some good, solid plans to do just that. Now, there will be talk that Steve Adams is not a cop, and he's not. Most people who administer hospitals are not doctors, and the heads of the FBI are not FBI agents, and this goes on. Steve will have the best people he can find to run that into the office. That'll leave him free to take care of you by listening to you and by being a good steward with your tax money while saving you millions, yes, millions of dollars. So I hope you'll keep an open mind. That's all I ask of any voter. Listen, and in fact, give him a call. Talk to him. I think you'll like what you hear, and you might even end up like me, supporting Steve Adams for sheriff.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call will be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
You've heard the comment, save your energy. Well, Comfort Services can save your energy bill and make your home more comfortable. Specializing in installation, HVAC, and comprehensive air quality services. Locally owned since 2003, Comfort Services is nationally certified and a Carrier Energy Expert dealer with highly qualified technicians. Go to ComfortServicesInc.com or call 910-695-2665 on Highway 5 next to Habitat in Aberdeen. 910-695-2665.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
You do know what today is, right, Dorothy?
Hump Day Wednesday?
Of course. But it's also Walkabout Wednesday at the Outback Steakhouse. Choose from either a tender, flavorful 6-ounce Outback Center Cut Sirloin or grilled chicken on the Barbie, our seasoned and fire-grilled chicken breast with signature barbecue sauce. Each paired with Aussie fries for only $9.99.
Now that sounds like a Hump Day celebration I could go for.
Outback Steakhouse on 15501 in Southern Pines.
Competition is what separates the winners and losers in sports. The scoreboard is what tells the story. In business, it's longevity. The same recipe that makes for a winning sports team is the same recipe that makes for a winning business team. Consistency, dedication, and no shortcuts. The Plumbing Night Service Team has been serving Moore County since 1997. While many have come and gone, we're still here and going strong. Add our team to your lineup. Service is the lifeblood of our organization, 255-0040.
It's Keith again from Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More in Southern Pines. At Sweet Dreams, we sell sleep, and we sell Stearns & Foster mattresses made right here in North Carolina. Stearns & Foster is the perfect combination of luxury and function. Right now, save up to an incredible $1,000 off on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets, and get exclusive white glove delivery by our Sweet Dreams Dream Team, and we will even donate your old mattress to a local family in need. We're the only Stearns & Foster retailer within 75 miles, so shop local at locally owned Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More. Better sleep, sweeter dreams.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Votes are still being counted this morning following a series of primary elections that could determine who controls the House next year. All eyes are on California, which accounts for 12% of all the seats in the House. Democrats hope to flip as many as 7 congressional seats in that state. They are currently held by Republicans, but voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. CBS News political correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
California uses an open primary system where the top 2 vote getters move on regardless of party. Democrats feared a large field of candidates might overwhelm voters, creating a space for Republicans to win both spots. But those fears seem to have been avoided.
Police are sharing more information about the arrest of a man who kidnapped his daughter at knife point in Virginia, leading to a 2-state manhunt, which led to Randleman. Randolph County Sheriff Robert Graves told reporters at a news conference that a tip led to a trailer where they found the suspect.
About 10, 12 officers all total.
around the area and at the residence, because you never know what you're going to run into.
A judicial remapping plan in which district court judges in North Carolina's 2 most populated counties will no longer be elected by all county residents has quickly passed the General Assembly and is heading to Governor Roy Cooper's desk. Blueberry farmers in our state are suffering this year thanks, unfortunately, to prolonged freezing this winter and heavy rains this spring. Debbie Nelson Gustafson, who has been growing blueberries for 25 years, is watching over her crop and says it's been a struggle so far.
This one has been hectic, just picking between the rain showers and, finding a time we could pick berries. As far as I'm concerned, this is the worst crop that I've had to deal with. It's just been a nightmare, especially with all the water.
The General Assembly's annual Farm Bill unveiled Tuesday, and a Senate committee would direct the state to develop a plan to enforce federal and state standards and by
Gen X incentive. Morning, more energized, more alive. Feel the difference of deeper sleep daily with the new Tomorrow mattress. Designed by the world's leading sleep experts at Serta Simmons Bedding and delivered right to your door. Share the love of deeper sleep. Visit tomorrowsleep.com for $125 off. Use promo code SAVE3 at checkout. Valid on purchases of $500 or more.
The sister of fashion designer Kate Spade says she may have taken her own life because of a struggle with mental illness. Spade was found dead yesterday in her New York apartment building. CBS News correspondent Jerika Duncan has that.
Police say a housekeeper found Kate Spade hanging from a red scarf tied to a doorknob in her bedroom. The designer left a suicide note addressed to her 13-year-old daughter, telling her it was not her fault. Her family said in a statement, "We are all devastated and we loved Kate dearly and will miss her terribly." Spade's older sister, Rita Sappho, suspects the designer may have suffered from bipolar disorder. Sappho tells CBS This Morning she tried numerous times to get her help.
A federal appeals court is resurrecting a lawsuit by animal rights groups against a North Carolina law that discourages undercover investigations into conditions at farms and other workplaces. The 4th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals on Tuesday reversed a North Carolina federal judge's decision dismissing the lawsuits. A bill establishing a statewide tracking system for sexual assault evidence kits so victims can follow them through the process has approval from the North Carolina Legislative Committee. A state Senate committee gave a favorable report to a new version of the bill on Tuesday and sent it to another committee. The Federal Commission on School Safety will hold its first public forum today in D.C. Chairman and Education Secretary Betsy DeVos said at a Senate hearing yesterday gun control was not on the Commission's agenda. Weijia Zhang has more.
Secretary Betsy DeVos was grilled yesterday by Democratic Senator Patrick Leahy.
Will your commission look at the role of firearms as it relates to gun violence in our schools?
That is not part of the Commission's charge.
So you're studying gun violence but not considering the role of guns?
We're actually studying school safety and how we can ensure our students are safe.
All the options tasked by the president.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We'll see mostly sunny to at times partly cloudy skies today. Should be warm but not humid. It looks like if we have any afternoon thunder showers pop up, they'll tend to be rather few and far between. Highs will reach about 84 to 90. Then tonight, fair to partly cloudy and mild as lows fall into the upper 50s to mid 60s. Then we'll see a mix of sun and fair weather clouds for Thursday. Only a very slight chance of a shower or storm in most places, mainly in the south. Highs about 82 to 87. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills, sunny 72 degrees, humidity 73%, dew point 63, pressure 2983, winds calm, visibility is at 10 statute miles. 8:14, let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Wednesday hump day already. Well, some home builders and others are challenging the legality of a Moore County ordinance requiring utility customers with irrigation meters to install costly plumbing safety devices that protect against contaminated water. They contend that the device required by the county, known as a backflow preventer, exceeds the requirements of the state building code. They also argue that the county, or any local government for that matter, lacks authority to regulate what happens on private property once the water passes through the meter. County officials are defending the requirement, saying the state allows it to enact ordinances and rules to protect the safety of drinking water. The device being required blocks the reverse flow of possible contaminated water from entering the public drinking supply. A number of affected homeowners have already had the device installed, and they have complained about the high cost. Some say it can be as much as $1,000, including the housing for the device, and the annual inspection fee that's required costs another $100 a year. County announced last week that it is delaying enforcement of the ordinance until January 1 to give homeowners time to comply. Homeowners who don't comply can face a $200 a day fine. Home builder Ron Jackson, who owns Quality Built Homes, cited an NC Supreme Court ruling in 1975 case against Winston-Salem that struck down a local ordinance it adopted regarding its fire code to require sprinklers in certain instances that were not required by the state building code. He and Pinehurst real estate attorney Clark Campbell say additional state laws have been enacted since then to clarify that the building code applies uniformly across the state. Jackson also wrote that this just shows that they do not have the power to do this. They have cost people thousands of dollars, and we need to hold the government accountable. A Robbins police officer was conducting a traffic stop on a vehicle driven by April Marie Shaw yesterday afternoon at around 5 in the afternoon. The stop occurred in the Domino's Pizza parking lot on Highway 2427. During the stop, Shaw failed to comply with the police officer's commands. According to a news release from Robbins town manager David Lampert, as Shaw fled the scene, she intentionally struck the officer with her vehicle. The officer was transported to Moore Regional, where she was treated with minor injuries. Shaw was arrested later at 7:30 and charged with numerous charges concerning the assault on the officer. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports, right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:18.
NCN Sports, good morning. I'm Tony Rixby. Freddie Freeman homered and had 4 hits. Dansby Swanson and Nick Markakis also went deep, and the Atlanta Braves routed the San Diego Padres 14-1 at Petco Park. Freeman says it was good to bounce back for the Braves.
We just switched off tonight, so hopefully tomorrow's maybe a bit of a pitching duel. That's the name of the game. You know, if you lose the first one, you still got a chance to win the series if you win the next 2. We came out here and played a really good baseball game. Every time Nuke takes the mound, you feel like you got a good chance to win the way he's been pitching.
Max Scherzer pitched 8 strong innings, becoming the first 10-game winner in the majors, striking out 13 in the Nationals' 4-2 win over the Tampa Bay Rays. Baltimore Orioles were 2-1 winners over the New York Mets. Yankees beating the Blue Jays 7-2. The Red Sox shut out the Tigers 6-0. Cubs losing to the Philadelphia Phillies 6-1. Dodgers shut out the Pirates 5-0. And the Arizona Diamondbacks 3-2 over the San Francisco Giants. Appalachian State giving basketball coach Jim Fox a 2-year contract extension. That deal announced by Athletic Director Doug Gillen and approved by the Chancellor and the school's Board of Trustees. The Mountaineers' 15-18 record last season was 6 wins better than in 2016-2017. Former Carolina Panthers and current New York Giants general manager Dave Gettleman has lymphoma and will soon begin treatment. He says he's encouraged by the prognosis thus far. Florida State beating Washington 8-3 to claim its first Women's College World Series championship. The Seminoles won the best-of-3 championship round 2-0. Now, they had lost their opener at the World Series before winning 6 straight to become just the 3rd team to come through the loser's bracket and win the title on the championship round side. You're listening to NCN Sports.
Biking to work is great.
Thanks to these new bike lanes.
Now more than ever, people are enjoying the benefits of living in communities where they don't need a car for everything.
How about dinner after work?
Sure, I have to stop at home. Then I'll walk over.
These are sustaining places, neighborhoods that are compact and walkable, communities connected to each other by public transportation, and regions where air and water quality are shared concerns.
The kids I teach get fresh fruits and vegetables with school lunch. Some of it's even from local farms.
The American Planning Association wants you to know that sustaining places like these don't just happen. They take planning, urban, community, and regional planning, plus personal responsibility.
Making the choice
To take the bus.
to recycle, reuse,
To use less.
less water, less gas.
There's a lot each one of us can do.
And a website where you can learn more. Planning.org. That's planning.org. A message from the American Planning Association and this station.
Delaware is not only the first state to join the union, it's now the first state on the East Coast to accept wagers on sports. WDEL reporter Mark Fauser.
For the first time, casinos that accept bets on sports such as baseball, the NBA, NHL, and even World Cup soccer are within driving distance for millions of people on the East Coast. Patrons such as Joel Sens of Southern Delaware, who also lives in Washington.
I put $2,000 on the Nationals to win the World Series. Go Nationals this year. We'll see.
And Chief Robbins of Northern Virginia made the trip of about 2 hours.
Oh, this is real convenient to come up. It's a couple hours away and enjoy the whole casino. It's nice.
The state was able to gear up its operations in just a few weeks following the recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling that lifted bans on sports betting. Mark Fauser for CBS News, Dover, Delaware.
Coming up tonight, the resumption of the NBA Championship Series. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Sandhills Office Supply on US 1 is the only locally owned and operated office supply store around. Sandhills Office Supply not only offers all the office supplies you'll need, they can handle all your office furniture needs too. And unlike the chain stores, Sandhills Office Supply offers local, quick delivery and installation of desks, chairs, and file cabinets. And for a wide selection of high-quality office supplies, call or drop by Sandhills Office Supply at 692-6631 today.
Has this ever happened to you? You get a computer virus, or your computer just isn't acting right, and you take it to the big box store to get it fixed, and you wait, and wait, and wait. And finally, after a week or more, they call and say your computer is ready. You go back to the store to pick up your computer, only to be handed an outrageous bill.
You won't. How much? Are you out of your mind? You've got to be kidding
And
me.
then when you get home, many of the problems that you took it in for still exist. That's the problem with the big box stores. They charge a lot, you don't know how qualified the person is that's working on your computer, and many times it never gets fixed properly. Listen, if you have a PC problem, just bring it in the WEEB Computer Repair, right here at our station on Midland Road. We are the home of the Super Geek. In most cases, you'll get your PC back within 24 hours, and it'll be fixed. And it usually costs less than half what the big box stores charge. Plus, we stand behind our work. Just bring your PC computer in anytime during regular business hours or call the Super Geek directly at 910-690-9723. And yes, the Geek makes house calls too and can get all your electronic components working with each other at your home or business. Again, that number, 910-690-9723.
By using local businesses, you give back to your community, supporting your police, fire, and rescue departments, town maintenance, and schools. You create jobs and friendships. John Cole's Plumbing Professionals has been your plumbing contractor for many years and wants to continue serving this great community for many more to come. For outstanding service, call your local plumber, John Cole's Plumbing Professionals, 910-639-4933, 639-4933.
This is Hand on Golf for another golf tip brought to you by Golf Augusta. Do you struggle with your chipping? Stay tuned for my 3 steps to better chipping.
Do you know what lofts and bounces are on your wedges? Bounce hits the turf first and propels your club forward, so you can be a little off on your strike and still have a good shot. Golf experts say you should change out your wedges after 75 rounds as scoring lines may be worn and will lose their spin and stopping power. We have a large selection of wedges from Titleist, Mizuno, Callaway, TaylorMade, and Cleveland, so stop by Golf Augusta for a wedge bounce check. Have more fun, play better golf. Golf Augusta on US Highway 1 in Southern Pines.
3 steps to better chipping. With your feet together. 1. Place all your weight on your left leg. 2. Place the golf ball off your right foot. And 3. Notice the angle of your right wrist. Maintain this right wrist angle through the strike. The golf ball will come out low and run. If you prefer a higher shot, which runs less, move the ball forward, but still maintain the right wrist angle through the strike. Stay tuned for more golf tips, and please visit Golf Augusta for all your golfing needs.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. If you've ever dealt with little kids, you know that sometimes they have an amazing ability to act like they don't know what's going on. I remember once when my kids were very small, I came into their little playroom, and there they sat, crayons in hand, drawings all over the wall. Now, I know it looked bad, but apparently they didn't do it. I know that because I asked them. I used some very clever lines, too, like, "Oh, so I guess a ghost did it." That's when I started believing that, as strange as it may seem to you, we might have had a ghost in our house that did strange things. Things like eat cookies and break dishes, and once even left the door open so the dog could escape. It had to be either a ghost or we had a guy sneaking into our house writing on the wall with crayons, obviously trying to frame my precious little children. That brings me to Harvey Weinstein. I have not heard this theory before, but you know what? He might have had a ghost framing him, and why do I say such a thing? Look at all the big stars who were shocked to find out what he had done. Big names. Meryl Streep had no idea her buddy was such a bad guy. Look at all the others. No one knew. Now that they do, they're all outraged. Don't you just hate these mean ghosts? I do. In the Zoomwalt zone.
Hurricanes, tornadoes, and fire. These are serious situations that we plan in advance.
We should see a lot of sunshine around the area today. Maybe a few partly cloudy periods. We'll have low humidity again. Quite warm out, and any afternoon thunder showers likely to be very isolated. We'll have highs around 84 to 90. Then tonight, fair to partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 50s to mid-60s. Looks like Thursday will bring a mix of sun and fair weather clouds. A few degrees cooler. Any showers or storms mainly toward the southern coastal plain with highs 82 to 87. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills number one morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
What a nice alarm clock.
You're still in bed? Come on, get up. Morning. Who's ready for some Java?
Top of the morning to you. Good morning. Hey. Top of the morning.
Morning.
You've got to ask yourself one question.
Guess what the day is? Hump day.
Hump day.
This is crazy. You know what they announced today on the radio? Yeah. It's showtime. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you, and you'd stay. I don't know why I did the things I did. I don't know why I said the things I said. Pride's like a knife, it can cut deep inside. Words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you. You'd stay if I could reach the stars. I'd give them all to you. When you love me like you used to do. If I could turn back time, my world was shattered, I was torn apart. Like someone took a knife and drove it deep in my heart. You walked out that door, I swore that I didn't care, but I lost everything, darling, there and there. Too strong to tell you I was sorry, too proud to tell you I was wrong. I know that I was blind, and darling, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the LeaderMan's confused sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you at our website at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. Click that and you're on your way. If you're on a mobile device, use your YouTube app. Put Mornings with the LeaderMan, LeaderMan all one word, into the search, and we should be at the top of your results. If you're just looking at our crystal clear digital audio stream, that's available to you online, or on the go, I should say, with your your TuneIn or iTunes app. Many other platforms will play us too, but just put WEEB into the search. We should pop up at the top. If you're on our website at talk973.com, the icon that says Listen Live in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages is what you want to click one time, and you'll be listening that quick. You know, every time Cher sings that song, she has teleprompters in front of her popping up the words, because obviously she has a lot of songs she has to know the words to, and this way she doesn't have a moment to forget a line. But it seems like our press can only, yesterday, like when Trump had the White House Rose Garden celebration of the national anthem, and they sang God Bless America, and Trump was singing along, and he obviously didn't know a line or two in there and just nodded his head instead to it. Of course, the press jumps all over it. Why, he has a celebration. He doesn't even know the words to the song. Might have 500 things else on his mind, but, you know, that's big news, isn't it? Let's get our 5 people around the table and talk what a piece of junk he is because he can't remember a word to a song.
Well, if Obama had done it, we'd be beating him down, wouldn't we?
No, I wouldn't. I'd find better things to talk about than whether a man remembered a line to a song. Maybe next time he'll have to get teleprompters up there to put the words of the song. Then they criticize he has it on teleprompter. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Enjoy it while you can before the humidity returns this weekend. Partly cloudy today. Look for high of 89 tonight. Partly cloudy, 65 for your low tomorrow. More partly cloudy skies. High of 85. Then humidity kicks back in here on Friday. We'll be up in about 66 on the dew points. Partly cloudy with a high of 90. And Saturday and Sunday, the dew points will be around 70 with highs of 91. Monday, more of the same, but cooler temperatures since the front comes through and delivers some showers on us. High of 86. In other words, we're back into that steam bath we had last week. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure 2983, dew point at a tolerable 63, humidity 73. It's sunny and 72, currently here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. All righty, it is 8:33, 33 past the hour. And it's time, my friends, once again, for the rousing contest where we get to beat up Matt.
And now it's time for Yes! Or BS. Don't give me that good bullshit.
All right, time for Yes or BS, where we'll give Matt a statement. He'll say, why, yes, it's true. Or no, Steve, that's total BS.
And I'll get them all right, as always.
Sex and the City premiered on HBO 20 years ago today, so the topic is more things that make you feel old. More things that make you feel old.
Well, I'm glad it's that and not Sex and the City stuff. I wouldn't do well on that.
Jurassic Park came out before Justin Bieber was born.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, it's true. The Beeb hit planet Earth March 1st of 94. Jurassic Park hit theaters 9 months earlier in 93. Ralph Macchio from The Karate Kid is now over 60.
No, BS.
And just how old is he?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to guess just over 50.
He's still a fresh-faced 56-year-old. He played a teenager in the original movie, but was actually 22 when they filmed it in 1983.
And I suppose you're not giving me credit for that one.
Of course not. You said he was early 50s.
Yeah, but I got the BS part right.
Assuming they don't split up, Chandler and Monica from Friends would have celebrated their 17th anniversary last month.
Their 17th anniversary last month. I'm going to say BS.
They got married in season 7, the finale. It aired May 17, 2001.
Oh, I thought that damn show finished a long time before that.
Finding Nemo turns 20 this year.
Yes.
Now it's 15 years old. If Dora the Explorer had aged like a normal person, she'd literally be allowed to drink.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, in the cartoon she was 7 years old and it premiered on Nickelodeon in 2000. Now she'd be 25. The original voice, Kathleen Hurley's, is now 27 years old.
Can we get a bell so that when I get these right, I get a bell?
No. I got a bell, but I don't want to give it to you.
Man.
All righty.
Excuse me while I wipe the tears away here.
Go ahead. All right, here comes your rim shots for this morning. The Miss America contest, no longer a pageant, is a contest. We'll no longer have a swimsuit competition. It'll be replaced with something more relevant to 2018, like the best tweet about Ben Affleck's back tattoo competition. Justin Bieber will play Cupid in an upcoming movie. Not much is known about the movie other than there's a 0% chance I'll ever watch it.
I'm with you, Steve.
Khloe Kardashian will permanently relocate to L.A. Tristan Thompson plans to join her once he runs out of women to have sex with in Cleveland. Kevin Hart helped Tiffany Haddish when she was homeless. Years later, she paid him back when he needed something from the top shelf. Robert Englund turned 71 years old today. Englund, best known for playing Freddy Krueger.
Isn't it England?
Whatever. It's Englund. Englund.
Sounds a lot like England.
Sounds a lot like that number I'm pointing at you right now.
I love it when you let me know that I'm number one in your book, Steve.
Robert is best known for playing Freddy Krueger, the most horrifying sadistic villain the world has ever seen, until Harvey Weinstein came along and took his place. Bill Clinton, baby Bubba, has been getting upset with people asking him about Monica Lewinsky. Have you seen the look on his face? It's like someone told him he had to spend the rest of the day with his wife. Vermont is willing to pay people $10,000 to move there. But there is a catch. You have to live in Vermont. 65% of women say they'd rather marry a man with a dad bod than a six-pack. And not surprisingly, 100% of them live nowhere near me.
Wait a minute. With a what bod?
A dad bod.
Dead bod.
D-A-D.
A dad bod. Okay.
A dad bod.
Dad bod. Got it.
You know, here's the story on it. You can go ahead and eat that 6-donut or chug-a-tall glass of gravy. It's only making you more attractive. According to a new survey, 2/3 of women say they'd rather marry someone with a dad bod than someone with six-pack abs. Yeah, but it's the guy with the six-pack abs that'll be having the affair with your woman. That's the difference. 83% of women say they think that men with dad bods are more confident. 67, yeah, we got to go on something. It can't go on our looks. 67% say they're attractive, and 62% take it even further to say they're sexy.
You want to see my abs, Steve?
No. And shockingly, men are cool with the idea of eating whatever they want instead of keeping a super strict diet and constantly working out. Only 21% of men admit they've got a dead bod, but 62% of them say that giving in and having one has improved their lives. So, there's the story behind the joke.
Well, I appreciate that. I suspect there's also a little part that says, as you alluded to earlier, if my man's got a dad bod, I don't need to worry about him as much. He won't be as appealing. Although then there's that story that came out a long time ago that married men or men wearing a wedding ring are attractive to women because they indicate somebody sees something in this guy.
Students at a California high school surprised a lunch lady by getting her a car. In return, she decided to do something nice for the students, so she refused to serve them lunch. Well, since June is National DJ Month, it's a good time to check out this list of the top questions to ask yourself before pursuing a career in radio. Top things to ask yourself before pursuing a career in radio. Like, can I handle it when my kids beg me not to come to school on career day? Do I have a face for radio?
Yes, I do.
Here's a hint. Yes. How many consecutive days can I eat ramen without getting physically ill? Other top questions to ask yourself before pursuing a career in radio. Am I ready to land tons of chicks by lying about my profession? Do I want a six-figure paycheck? If so, why am I not pursuing a career in TV? We can always ask Rush Limbaugh.
You know, I listened to him the other day. He's another one of those guys, if he keeps going, he's really going to make it.
Do I sound condescending enough for a career at NPR? I don't know. You have to ask Stephen Colbert. He's the expert on that. How psyched am I to have thousands of people associate my voice with a brutal commute to a soul-crushing job? And last but not least, the question you need to ask yourself before pursuing a career in radio: if I get a job at a cool hip-hop station, how well can I hide my love for Celine Dion? Those are the things you need to know before you go down that road. The other thing is, people say, how'd you get in radio? I had someone ask me that on Monday. And I said, well, I took a person's advice and practiced. I filled my mouth up with marbles and tried to talk clearly. And one at a time, you take the marbles out. And of course, when you lost all your marbles, you are now qualified to be in radio.
Hit the rim shot. Steve, you miss your... Doggone it.
No, I didn't miss it. It just didn't fit there.
It did fit there. That was a joke.
Leave it to me. Radio's my life.
I think you've lost your marbles.
8:44 past the hour. I guess it's that time that we go chase after the bad guys.
You, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to mutate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had that treat.
All right, my friends, it's time once again You're drawing that big breath of air. Let that big hairy chest of ours stick out. Straight across the floor in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up our closet doors. Look at all 30 of our Liberty safes and McCarthy shooting sports. There, we're going to mosey on over to safe number 26. And we'll open it up and let Matt reach in and grab one.
Well, how about a revolver today, Steve?
Well, we don't leave casings all over the floor that way.
I'm going to give you...
Unless we got to reload.
I'm going to give you a Ruger SP-101 chambered in .357.
All right, we'll stick that bad boy into our holster, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of Super Whoop Ass, and head out the door. In relentless pursuit of stupid criminal news. Super criminal news number 1. Here's more proof that literally nothing good can come from using Facebook anymore. A 29-year-old woman named Melissa Henderson from Umptilla, Florida, got home Saturday night, and when she went on Facebook, she found her boyfriend had blocked her. So she went into their bedroom, screamed at him. That always gets the job done, puts him in a good mood. And she told him, while she was screaming, "I'm going to kill you."
I wonder why he blocked her.
And then, that wasn't enough to satisfy her, no. She then bit his arm. He called the police. She was arrested and spent the night in jail. There's no word on whether her boyfriend unblocked her or why he blocked her in the first place.
She was a vampire.
Well, he don't want her to see something. And looking at her picture, she's not the one you want to take home to mom and dad.
She looked like a dude. She had a huge mustache.
Stupid criminal news number 2. This is some resourceful and delicious police work. A 25-year-old guy named Justin Stanford went into a grocery store in Youngtown, Florida, Thursday morning with a hammer and started threatening the clerk. Well, the police came into the store and Justin held them off by swinging the hammer. And things stayed like that until one of the police managed to sneak up behind Justin and attack him with the best weapon in reach. Cans of Bush Extra Brown Sugar Baked Beans.
Oh, man, that'll do it.
Now, they hurt when they smack you. Yeah, I recently had an encounter with one. Beamed me in the head when it fell off the shelf. Anyway, the police threw 2 cans of beans at Justin, and the second one caught him and stunned him just long enough for the police to swarm him and take him down. Justin now facing charges including assault and resisting arrest. And that's another rousing round of stupid criminal news.
So,
for your Wednesday.
So the officer beamed him with the can? Oh man, you can't beat that.
I wonder how many news people have already said that across the country.
None on this station.
Oh yes, I heard it yesterday.
You did not?
Yes, I did.
Why are we doing the story then?
Roll that beautiful beam footage, will you? No, I said roll that beautiful beam someday.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
There you go. All right, things we need to know today so we do not sound stupid. We did that. Fashion designer Kate Spade was found dead at the age of 55 in a Park Avenue apartment yesterday. She left a note before taking her own life by hanging. She was discovered by the housekeeper. Her husband was in the house at the time. Her daughter was not. A couple of weeks after Meghan Markle got married, her first husband, Trevor Ingleson, announced his engagement. Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if he married into the royal family, and she had to look at him for the rest of her life? The Queen, by the way, gave Meghan and the Duke and Duchess a couple of pretty nice wedding gifts. One of them, a palace called York Cottage. It's a royal property located in Sandringham Estates, a 20,000-acre estate in Norfolk, about 110 miles northeast of Kensington Palace, and also a home at Sandringham Estates, 20,000 acres. I don't know where we'll put the dogs. It's such a small place.
Who let the dogs out?
Tesla has refunded.
Who?
Don't make me cut your mic off. Tesla has refunded a third of the Model 3 pre-orders. So I guess they don't get their government paid-for tax break, huh? There have been over 9,900 earthquakes in Hawaii in the past 30 days. In the words of Elvis, I'm all shook up.
I guess it was an accurate report this morning. They said something that hundreds of homes had been destroyed overnight. Hundreds. But it was in an area that had already been evacuated, so it wasn't loss of life, but holy moly.
Well, you're not going to survive something that hot. It's going to scorch it right down to the ground. And there's no hitting it with a water hose.
Marge, turn on the hose!
Howard Schultz is stepping down from his role as executive chairman of Starbucks, effective June 26.
Oh, I'm excited about that. That means he's going to be running for president.
The rumor is still out there that he might run for president in 2 years.
No.
Yeah, he seems to think that all his liberalism gives him a chance. Former U.S. President George H.W. Bush, number 93, or he's 93, he was released from Maine Hospital on Monday after a week's treatment for low blood pressure. There's more talk about grabbing the rest of the cast of Roseanne and bring them all back for another season. Didn't know we finished this season. Oprah's buying, these poor people having to go spend their money somewhere on themselves. And how many people could she educate with what she bought? She's buying a 43-acre estate on Orcas Island up in the San Juan Islands of Washington State, spending $8.275 million. Yeah, that'd educate a few people. And she'll spend 3 days a year there. Let her friends spend time there. Crayola is coming out with a makeup line. Makeup by Crayola. A historic Memphis, Tennessee theater, which has shown Gone with the Wind screenings for 34 years, has decided to remove the classic film from the schedule because it's racially insensitive.
Yes, because...
They just figured it out after 34 years. All of a sudden, it suddenly became the content is racially insensitive.
Because you do not want to depict what Democrats were doing during the Civil War and before.
A new study found this makes us order unhealthy food while dining out. This is today's impossible question. In other words, if this is in the restaurant, you tend to order unhealthy food. The presence of this.
The presence of this. Thin people.
No, it's not.
Fat people.
It's not something you can touch.
The presence of this, not blue paint. Blue depresses one's appetite.
Loud music.
I guess that makes sense because you're going in what do bars serve, for example?
So I guess everybody's ordering pizza at the table. From our Did You Know category, according to PetSmart, 32% of dog owners buy this for their dogs.
32%.
I have it. I need to use it a whole lot more often.
Toothbrush.
I'll give you credit. Toothpaste. One out of every 3 American adults admit that they haven't done this since high school.
Flossed.
This is a stupid thing you do on other people.
Practical joke.
I give you credit. Make a prank phone call. Excuse me, is your refrigerator running?
You can't do that anymore.
Well, you better go catch it.
Unless you're going to go pay for a phone booth or something, but then people won't answer. That's one of those things from the past. It's gone away.
According to CareerBuilder.com, employer fashion pet peeves are number 1 is this.
How about sleeping?
No, this is if you're going and applying for a job. This is pet peeve number 1 on the part of the employer.
Showing up late for the interview.
About your fashion.
About your fashion. Wearing a T-shirt.
An unironed shirt.
Okay.
Number 2 is sneakers.
I guess this depends on the job you're applying for.
And number 3, which is pretty much a killer, flip-flops. Not saying that I didn't command enough respect to get above a flip-flop.
Whoa, dude, lighten up a little bit.
You want me to hire you, spend time training you, and pay you, and you walk in here in flip-flops? A recent study shows only 4% of men still write these to their wives.
Love notes.
Give you credit. Love letters. And having a drink together as a couple once a week is good for your marriage. So it goes for this Wednesday hump day. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow for Thumping Thursday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the LeaderMan, and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll see you this afternoon at 2 at the dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsley with a truism from the Dalai Lama. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Stay tuned for the Chris Plant Show. Rush Limbaugh is at noon. Sean Hannity at 3. Mark Levin at 6. Follow us and like us at Facebook.com/WEEB990. And we'll be back tomorrow at 7 for Mornings with the LeaderMan.
When I come back,